Welcome to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Sean, and with my fellow American Rodney, we break down the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. It's quite the journey, so join us for the ride. Reunited and it feels so good. Reunited cause we understood.
There's one perfect thing, and baby, this weather's not it. It's freezing so damn bad that I've froze my
stuff.
my stuff. Minus 14. Get the front door.
Man, it's like you must be joking with this temperature madness out here.
Hey man, welcome back. Welcome back.
No.
Welcome back.
No. It's like the end of Revenge of the Sith when Darth Vader comes to and Palpatine has to tell him that no, Padme has died. No.
No. I couldn't even see Darth Vader coming to Sweden. He would be like, no.
I got a heater in here, but it's too cold for me.
No. Yeah, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. Good to be back.
You globetrotter, you.
Man, I am so happy that I don't have to eat airplane or airport type food anymore. It's just, you can't possibly imagine how nice that is. I've been eating since Tuesday some form, because even a airport hotel in Corona times, it's all basically airport food. It's like a prepackaged chicken Caesar or a pizza that's been prepackaged that they just throw in an oven and warm up real quick. And it's no good. No good.
No. It's funny because I was thinking about just the trays, the food when it comes. Are you one of those people that finishes absolutely everything on the tray, or are you kind of?
So it depends. When we came back from Newark, New Jersey to Stockholm, we had, I'll get to this in a minute. We had bought the tickets direct, right? That's why we thought it was so good. And then a few weeks later, they changed it on us to go through Copenhagen, of course, because you can't fly direct to anywhere except Thailand from Sweden.
Okay.
So the flight back from Newark, they served us, what did they serve? They served us dinner and breakfast because we arrived in Copenhagen at 6 a.m., which, Danish time, 6 a.m. For everyone on that flight, it was midnight, and they're coming around with orange juice and coffee, and I'm like, get out of here with that. Turn the lights back off. What are you doing? What are you doing? Tell me when we hit I'll wake up when the wheels hit that tarmac.
Yeah.
But then the dinner, they come around. Of course, they have to separate the drinks and the dinner service for some reason. I don't know. It's so it comes on this tray, and me and Hinata, we have to eat in shifts, right? Because one
You're
has
doing
to,
the
if
parent
Dylan,
thing.
if Dylan is awake, you have to have one that gives up and tries to stop him from running into first class while your partner is eating, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was the typical. There's a salad, there's a piece of bread, which first thing you do, you put it on top of the entree because the entree is the hot thing. Exactly. So you put it on top of that to get the bread nice and warm. But this bread, man, oh my God, it was so hard. It was horrible. Meantime, the butter was ice cold, rock solid. So you're not getting anything off of there.
Right.
And then so there was a wedge of cheese. Half the time it's a quote unquote brie or something like that, something easily spreadable. Now this was a hydrogenated soy oil attempt at cheddar cheese or some kind of crazy thing.
It was in a cheese shape.
Yeah. The salad was lettuce, a couple chickpeas in there, maybe a couple cut tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and some quinoa rolled around in there. But there was no dressing. There was not even dressing on the tray. It was just dry salad. Ugh. And then I'm like, okay, there's got to be chicken. They didn't even give us an option. He said, you're getting chicken. If you're in coach, you're getting chicken. That's it. Shut up and eat it.
Yeah.
And I open the thing up, and it's steamed green beans on one side. Okay, not bad. I'll eat it. Then there's on the other side black beans and rice. I'm like, okay, black beans and rice, I can get down with that. But then I'm like, wait a minute, jasmine rice with black beans? Those don't go together. Get out of here. And then what's sitting in the middle? This chicken, pieces of chicken in this tomato ragu. But what else is in there? Mushrooms. I'm like, get this out of my face. I'm not eating any of this crap.
Your favorite.
Yeah. You ruined the whole thing. Everything gets a 1 out of 10 except for the dessert. The dessert was amazing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But yeah. And then they come around for breakfast a few hours later. I'm like, after what you just pulled with the dinner, you want me to eat this now? No.
Yeah.
I'm going back to sleep. Get out of here.
Yeah. I'm still sitting on the bread and the butter trying to get that warmed up from the dinner service.
They won't let you take on even a nail file anymore, but they'll give you that bread, which could be used as a deadly object.
You need like an ice pick.
The crew.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how some of that, because the food service, food service has changed just in general, on flight stuff. Now, I'm kind of spoiled just because, I flew a ton with my mom growing up. But now you talk about global warming, global warming and environmental tragedies, the amount of plastic on one of those trays, especially everything's wrapped.
The airports for COVID, everything is single-use plastic, everything. Because they're not even giving you, like if you order like a glass of wine in the airport to like chill before the flight, it's served in like a little the thinnest plastic cup they can get. And I'm like, this plastic can never be reused again because it's so thin. It's so awful. Yeah. You can't recycle it at that point. And then I'm like, would you just, what's the problem with washing dishes? Like if you wash the dishes, you get the COVID off. And we've all been tested. That's the other thing I got to bring up. Flying back to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So to enter, how when we got to New York a couple days after, we got the notice that said you have to be tested to go into Brazil. Great. So then we're in Brazil. We get the notice that says, oh, we have a new president. Now you have to be tested to come into the U.S. Yeah. Fantastic. I thought we were getting an antigen test on Monday, that Monday. Right. No, turns out it was a PCR, both nostrils and both sides of the back of the throat, all in one test. I'm like, damn, girl, like that's it. You're not getting any more swabs anywhere else. Let me tell you, you're done.
You're right.
And then we get to the airport, or we get to Newark. We stay in the hotel overnight, and we're like checking. We're like, we only have one international trip to go. Is there anyone else who needs a COVID test? Now is the time.
Yeah.
And we don't see anything. There's no updates. Okay, everything seems to be the same. Like you can't travel from the Netherlands and the UK into Sweden because of the variants and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, we should be good. We get to the airport, we're checking in, and then there's like the two people in front of us. They're having some kind of argument, with the check-in desk. I'm like, babe, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes.
Like the Han Solo, never tell me the odds.
Yeah, this ain't good. This ain't good.
Sir, there is a 1 in 100 quintillion chance that you will get you. So we get up to the desk.
Sure.
And we're like, yeah, we're checking in. She's like, where are you traveling to? Like everyone was very edgy. Very edgy the whole trip, the whole way through. I'm like, we're going to Sweden. Why? Well, because I live there.
Because all my stuff is there.
Yeah, I would like to go back to my house and sleep in my own bed.
Right.
So then she goes, okay, where's your COVID test? I'm like, what do you mean COVID test? I'm going to Sweden, not to Copenhagen. Yeah. And then she pulls out her paper with the whole paragraph highlighted. If you're going, even internationals, if you're going through Copenhagen, through Denmark, you have to have a PCR test negative within 24 hours. Not this 72 business.
Not that 3 day.
24 hours. And me and him out there looking at each other like, first of all, thank you as an airline for alerting your customers. All they have when you go into the app is this little, the passengers are responsible for finding out all of the updates about COVID for themselves. I'm like, you could have told me. So then I'm like, wait a minute, 24 hours? No one will even guarantee me 72 hours to get a result. You want me to get something done in 24? How am I going to fly out of here? And she's like, no. Go down to the end of the terminal.
Yeah.
And there's There's a station that they've set up that does within 15 minutes, you'll get your test back. And it's a PCR. I'm like, okay. And she's like, it'll cost you $200 a piece. I'm like, you mother.
Oh, God. You beep. Yeah, yeah.
So
go
then
to the restroom. Go to the restroom.
All of our luggage down there. It was like, it was seriously, go to the restroom. It was like, just like the moment in Christmas Vacation where Chevy Chase opens the letter and sees he's now been enrolled in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Right.
Yes, this is good. Yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah, but I could just see that. It's like, oh, okay, go to the restroom, and then stall number 3, knock 4 times, ask for a guy named Frank.
Well, hey, American airports, that might get you something totally different. That's gotten members of Congress in trouble.
Yes. 24 hours.
Yeah, that was crazy. So then we had to go through the line. There were apparently, I guess people knew about this beforehand. There was one line for walk-ins. Thank God that was only had 4 people in it, and another line for appointments. Oof. And as we're getting towards the front, we hear these people who are like, they're checking in. They're like, yeah, my appointment was for about an hour ago. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're never going to make it in time. So, but yeah, we have all our baggage because we can't check into the damn flight.
Sure.
So we've got to leave it out and rely on the good Samaritanship of all the people in the airport because everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's miserable. They've all got the same look on their face. They're all freaking out and sweating that they're not going to make their flight. It's like, you know what? We'll just. But everyone's looking out for each other right now.
You know what would have made that perfect though is like, okay, you know you're not allowed to leave your luggage.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah. Thank God I was allowed to take Dylan into the room with me because I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? We can't wait around for the 2 of us to get tested separately. We got to go at the same time. We don't have time for this, people.
Yeah. Dylan, watch the bags.
Yeah, right. Next thing we know, he's hanging from the rafters.
Hey, just so that people realize what your home journey was like, because it wasn't just like it's not you hopped on a direct plane from Brazil to Orlando.
Bro, I wish. Dude, you can't imagine how much money I would pay for a direct flight like that.
But fill people in. I mean, because I don't think that people realize.
So we were in Florianopolis, which is a city in the south of Brazil in a state called Santa Catarina. There's I think one more state that's further south, but you're like Gaucho territory, like you're right next to Argentina and all that kind of stuff. So we have to fly out of there into Sao Paulo, Guarulhos, Sao Paulo airport. I hate that airport.
Okay.
They always manage to send me through in the middle of the night when nothing's open. You can't eat anything.
No.
It's horrible. So we go through Guarulhos. From there to Miami. Miami, we have a 7-hour layover. So that's where we have to take our bags. We have to leave the airport and then come back in and recheck our bags because that's our international change.
Sure.
So we're like, all our friends that we were staying at, before we had hit them up a couple days earlier. We're like, hey, we have the 7-hour layover. Can we like crash at your place on the couch for a few hours?
Right.
Like, yeah, no problem. Which was great for Dylan because he could get out of an airport and go play in a park and see dogs and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was amazing. That was a godsend. So Floripa, Sao Paulo, Miami, then to Newark, New Jersey. And we have to spend the night in the airport hotel. And then we have to go to Copenhagen and then Stockholm.
Yeah,
so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 airports. I believe in total.
It's like planes, trains, and automobiles. I mean, that is because you left Tuesday and you got home Friday.
Yes. Let that sink in for everybody. I left Tuesday and got home Friday. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And my mom texted me after. She's like, just stay home and don't leave until this crap is over with. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't need tips like that, really. I know. I'm well aware. That is my plan, just so everyone knows. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
No international travel for me. Thank you.
So you sent a message when you touched down. I was like, yes, Sean is back. But again, I mean, how you left, it was, you left Brazil. It was tropical. You got 30 something insane.
It was probably 20s. Well, we left in the evening, so
Okay.
it was a little
So it was
cooler. But that day,
only-
it was probably the sun actually came out an hour and a half before we had to leave, so it was like perfect for. The sun's gonna come out. It's gonna get hot as hell, and you can't jump in the pool because you don't have time for that.
Nope.
So I think it got up to 28 that day
Okay.
with the sun out. But yeah, and
Just-
then we
just
get
28.
We get. I was expecting Newark. Remember, last time we were in New York, there was a foot of snow,
Right.
but it was just a little dusting,
Okay.
if anything.
Yeah.
It was chilly, but it was manageable. It wasn't that bad. It was a shock to us initially because we were like, oh, the
Yeah.
air is cold and dry. And then we get to Copenhagen, kind of the same thing. Chilly, but not really snow. And then we touch down here and there's snow everywhere. I'm like, what
Yeah.
is this?
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. But I think that we'll see because the butter and the frozen butter and the frozen roll.
Yeah, that should have tipped me off.
It was just trying to acclimate
Well, it's not that the
you.
roll was frozen. It was just rock solid. Someone didn't, I
Okay.
don't know what they did to that thing. I think I got the one for like last month's flight. I think that was the situation.
Yeah. It's like the microwave when you microwave something and it's fresh for like 20 seconds before it turns into
Yes.
before it turns into marble.
Like, hot pocket. Eat it while it's molten lava or else it will solidify.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's awesome to have you back on this side of the pond.
It is good to be back.
Yeah. And you actually, let's see, you got back Friday, and you
Yes.
guys were out today.
Yes.
You guys were out, and what's Dylan's reaction been to like the climate change and stuff?
So Dylan, the first day Friday, it was crazy because we got home at like 10 o'clock or something. I think we got to our apartment, 10:30,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then everyone was just completely beat. Your body doesn't know what time it is, what day it is. It's just so bizarre. And so we were forcing ourselves to stay on our normal schedule, our time
Sure.
schedule. But it was like, like we're waiting for the groceries to arrive and then whatever.
Right.
So Saturday, he realized, oh, there's snow outside. So then I took him out to our little courtyard area in all of his gear because I'm like, dude, you have to learn how to walk in this stuff again
Yeah.
because you're going to go to school in a couple days. So
Right.
like with all like the big parka jumpsuit and the big snow boots.
The little
and
Michelin-
he was
Michelin
so
man.
awkward. Yeah, he was so awkward. He's like, I can't put my arms down.
Yeah.
And then, so today we were like, well, there's snow everywhere. We don't know how long it's going to last. Let's go buy Dylan a sled and do some sledding because Luma
Right.
Park has this really nice, it's not too big.
Yeah.
It's good for like a lot of little kids, but, kids of
Sure.
any size really.
Enough slope to
Yeah, exactly.
do what you gotta do. Right.
Exactly. And not that needed to replace her iPhone screen cover, her screen protector.
Okay.
So we went to like it's not an Apple store, but it's whatever authorized reseller in the Sikla Mall. And then
Okay.
we were like, okay, let's go to Stadium and let's get a, what do you call it? Baby pulka.
Right. Yeah.
A
Gotta have
little
the
sled, a little
Gotta have the
plastic
sled,
toboggan kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a line to get into Stadium because everyone and their mother is either buying skis and ski equipment or
Yeah.
cross-country skis and ski equipment.
Sure. Winter jacket, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that
exactly.
they didn't buy.
Oh, there's
the one they didn't
snow.
buy last
I
month.
better go buy a shovel right now.
Yeah.
And so we get in there finally. We have to wait in line. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. It was probably 15 minutes wait. But I've got like 18 layers of all thermal clothing on. So I'm like sweating. And I can't take my jacket off at this point because like there's going to be like major spots of sweat.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So now
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I'm the only guy with a mask on in the entire mall. So I'm getting weird looks because I've got this mask on my face
Right.
and I'm sweating bullets.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, this dude.
Yeah. He's patient zero right here.
This is the guy.
Yeah. So then we get in there and then we're looking around for the sleds. And we're like, wait. I finally track someone down with an orange T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, don't you guys have like the polkas? Not polka, pulka. I need a sled. And the woman looks at me. She's like, no, we're sold out. All of them gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. But then we went across the street to Lekia.
Oh.
And we found them super cheap. Well, not
Yeah.
super cheap, but cheap enough.
Yeah.
And then so we went out to Luma Park and all that. He loved it. He got it a little too cold, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
Hey,
was
that
great.
mask thing is kind of funky too, though. It's like, oh, it's the weekend. you know, it's like people
Well,
wear
it's
masks. It's
like
like, oh, during the commute when there's
I've
a bunch
been
of people.
living
And
in
it's
it
like,
for like
yeah,
one of like now Sweden. You look at the New York Times map of like the COVID spread in the world, and we're one of the purple countries up here
oh,
in Europe, and like America is like the purpliest of the purple, and then
Yeah.
Brazil they were doing better, but now it's getting real bad. They have their own variant now. The city of Manaus up in the middle of the Amazon, it's like the healthcare system is collapsing because there's too many people. So we've been in this world where you step
Right.
foot off your property, you got to be wearing a mask.
yeah,
Go in
Yeah.
the store, you're getting a temperature check. You don't have a mask, get the hell out of here. You're a crazy person. They'll spray like disinfectant in your eyeball.
okay,
And then we go outside, and there's because it's sunny, everyone and their mother is outside taking a
Sure.
walk, and none of them have masks on. And I'm like, ew.
yeah.
I'm like, no wonder you people have COVID.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not really sure why I'm a member of the group, but it's Americans in Finland. Actually, I'm a member of Americans in Finland, and I'm also a member of Americans in Norway, as well as a couple of these, Americans or expats in Sweden. But somebody in Finland had posted, and they've come out with, it's always these lists, like the happiest country in the world or the most,
Yes.
all of these different, and typically the Nordic countries rate pretty high. Like we're up in the top 5 spots somewhere.
Well, the
But
natives
this-
at least are happy. All the expats are like, God, would you just talk to me for 2 minutes?
Please, here I am. But this list that she posted on this Americans in Finland was how countries have handled the outbreak, and
Yes.
and the other Scandinavian countries, of course, are still up there vying, like in the top 10. Sweden was number 40 on that list.
Yeah.
Number 40. I don't know if
believe
Sweden's
that.
been like on a number 40 on any type of list in a while, but yeah.
It's bad, man. It's it's weird. It's very weird. Like
But I mean, we'll see what happens, and
in my sister's place in New York, once you walked out the front door of her apartment, you had to have a mask on. You had to.
yeah, New
And
York
she-
especially, right?
Yeah. She still wipes down all her groceries and all that stuff. It's for real.
Yeah. Hey, when we went to, we did our little shopping jaunt down to Ikea today, and I saw that they have that one of those dispensers where you just stick your hands in and it like squirts some type of disinfectant on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I told Lynn, I was like, see, this is one of those places where they could be taking your temperature, because you said that you ran into that.
Yeah,
right?
it was great. One of the
Yeah.
it was like it's mostly a grocery store, this structure with a parking garage,
Right.
but then there's some other little shops and little restaurants as well, like inside. But yeah, you put your hand under the machine, it gave you like the alcohol gel, and then it
Yeah.
told you what your temperature was. I'm like, this is perfect. This is all you need.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about you today when we went to Ikea. I was like, see, here, look, I could stick my hand in here. I could get my temperature. There's
Oh, yeah.
another hole over there. You
Yeah.
can stick your head in and get like the...
No, the funniest thing is the Swedish government, they issue, well, they're more like guidelines than actual rules.
Right, recommendations.
Yeah, recommendations. Don't make people do anything. Since I've been in Brazil, I'm supposed to quarantine for 7 days. But I'm like, guys, just to get on the plane, I had to test negative. So
Right.
I'm negative. If I've gotten it, it's from you.
It was something, yeah. I caught it in Copenhagen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's it's craziness. Hey, I didn't tell you my latest IKEA adventure.
IKEA.
IKEA, yeah,
IKEA.
We haven't talked.
I love a good
in
IKEA adventure.
in a long time. We spent the last couple episodes slamming PostNord, so I thought that we'd switch. No, but we.
I can slam a little IKEA, let me tell you.
Yeah. But check this out. So we, Veronica needed to get a new dresser up in her room because she has run out of dresser room. Teenage girl, ran out of dresser room. We had to get a
Have you
larger
told
dresser.
her about this thing that they've invented in America called a walk-in closet? Does she know about that?
Yeah, sure. That's the first thing I'm going to teach her about.
Imagine her eyes would like just explode 8 sizes. Like walk-in closets.
Yeah.
I mean, Adrian doesn't live there anymore, really. So there you go.
But we got Swedish compact living going on. It's like our rooms are like walk-in closets. But we, Lena brought it. She went and picked one up, left it in the car Thursday-ish. So we brought it into the house, and that was the task that we had been given. We were going to go ahead and assemble this Ikea dresser.
Well, assemble it and then take it apart and then reassemble it the correct way.
Yeah, we definitely, it was a learning experience. And I'd never really assembled anything with her before. And I've been spending more time like in the kitchen trying to give, tips and tricks and stuff on food. But I mean, you can't fight it. You just got to go with it. You got an assembly task that you have to do. We're sitting at the dinner table, and Lena's like, okay, I guess I'll pick something to watch, down here. And I'm like, what do you mean? We'll be back in 45 minutes. And Lena's, oh yeah. Lena starts laughing, and I'm like, well, what? And she's like, 45 minutes.
It's got 6 shelves in that thing, sir.
Yeah, no, it had four large drawers and 2 smaller ones up top. But we actually had a really good time. Veronica put on music, and we laid everything out, and we went through the instructions, and she was kind of guiding and leading, and I was giving her tips and tricks from all of the missteps that I'd done on previous IKEA furniture. But it was
first of all, turn the directions upside down, then you're good.
Yeah, pretty much. But
do it backwards, then you'll get it right.
We had a couple of those parts where like we started getting towards the end, and she was and I said, okay, we need 4 of these screws, and she was like, okay. She was like, okay, we have 2.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean 4? Uh-oh.
Like, okay. I was like, okay, start flipping back. We start going back through the page. I was like, there they are. That's the one where. So we had to disassemble a couple of times, but we got it put together and had a good time. She now has a good idea of how the assembly of IKEA furniture goes. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, I was off by just a little bit.
Just a touch, just a smidge,
just a touch. But no, it was good. We had father-daughter IKEA evening time.
Ooh,
so
I like it.
It was nice. It was nice.
But yeah, that's always a treat when you get 75% of the way through, even something as easy as a chest of drawers.
Right.
And then you go, wait a minute, these are 2 different screws? They look exactly the same. What are you doing to me, people?
Yeah. Well, and I showed her, because you have the round head screw, and since we have drawers, then you have those flat head screws.
Oh yeah,
that you're gonna put on the.
That's the thing. You got to open those little plastic bags and then put everything on the floor and separate all the pieces.
Staging.
Yeah,
it's just like we do in the kitchen.
Mise en
we got a stage. We're putting all of this stuff over here. We're putting all of these pieces over here.
Wait, how did celery get into my chest of drawers?
That's the way it is. Sean, so next week, it's wonderful to have you back. Next week, we actually have our first guest of the year lined up. And we're not going to go ahead and say who it is, but it's we're
an international person of mystery.
Yes, and musical at that. Okay, we're not going to give any more away. But that's going to be fun, and we actually have a couple of new ones getting lined up right now. So we have something for listeners to look forward to.
I mean, as much as I love hearing the sound of my own voice, it's good to hear another one every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to mix it up a little bit.
Exactly. Hey, it's good to have you back. Stay warm.
I will. I got to go order. It's Sunday. I got to go do the horrible task of trying to find a pizza that I can eat in this country for delivery. Oh, Jesus. Wish me luck. that will do it for this week's episode, everybody. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. It is great to be back here in Stockholm, Sweden. It's really cold for some reason. I don't understand. Below zero temperatures? How is that a thing? Anyway, it is even more exciting and amazing to be looking forward to our special guest next week. You do not want to miss it. Be sure to come back and check us out next time on Two Guys, Three Crowns.